A very long time ago, before the world began, there was only darkness. No light, no sound, no sky, no land, nothing at all. But God was there. He was full of love, power, and beauty. Then, God decided to make something wonderful, a world full of life, color, and joy.
With a voice strong and gentle he spoke, "Let there be light."
And suddenly, light appeared. It sparkled and shone, pushing the darkness away. God smiled at the bright, warm light and called it day, and the darkness he called night. Everything began to move and breathe because God had spoken.
Then God looked around and said, "Let there be a space between the waters." And just like that, the beautiful blue sky appeared above the earth. The air began to flow, the clouds drifted gently, and the heavens stretched wide across creation. Next, God said, "Let the waters come together so that dry ground can appear." And it happened. The waters rolled back into oceans, lakes, and rivers. From beneath them, dry land rose up, mountains, valleys, and plains. God called the dry ground earth, and the gathered waters seas. The earth looked bare, so God smiled and said, "Let the land grow plants and trees."
At his word, green covered the world. Soft grass spread across the ground, colorful flowers opened their petals, and trees stretched their branches toward the sky. Sweet fruits hung from their branches, oranges, mangoes, apples, and bananas, and the air filled with the fresh smell of life.
God looked at the world covered in green and said with joy, "It is good." Then he lifted his eyes to the heavens and said, "Let there be lights in the sky to shine on the earth."
At once, the bright golden sun appeared to warm the earth by day. The gentle moon rose to shine by night, and God sprinkled the sky with countless twinkling stars, sparkling like diamonds across the dark sky. The sun, the moon, and the stars moved together in perfect order, lighting the world just as God planned. And it was good.
The next moment, the waters began to stir, and the skies filled with sound as God spoke again. "Let the seas be filled with living creatures, and let birds fly in the sky."
The oceans came alive. Big whales swam through the deep blue waters. Dolphins jumped playfully above the waves. Tiny fish darted through coral reefs, and bright-colored creatures filled every corner of the sea. In the sky above, wings began to flap. Birds of every kind filled the air. Eagles soared high over mountains. Parrots chattered in the trees, and doves cooed softly in the morning light.
The world was now full of song and motion. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and fill the earth."
Then the land began to tremble softly as God spoke once more. "Let the earth bring forth living creatures." And the ground came alive. Lions roared across the plains. Elephants trumpeted with joy. Rabbits hopped. Monkeys chattered. And butterflies fluttered through the flowers. From the biggest giraffe to the tiniest ant, every animal had its place. God smiled at all the life he had made and said, "It is good." But something was still missing. Creation was beautiful, yet God wanted someone special, someone who could think, love, and take care of everything he made. So God said, "Let us make people in our image, to be like us." And from the dust of the ground, God formed the first man. He gently shaped him, then breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. The man opened his eyes and saw light, sky, and earth, and the loving face of God smiling at him. God called him Adam. God placed Adam in a beautiful garden filled with trees, rivers, and animals. Adam named the animals and cared for them, but God saw that Adam was lonely, so he caused him to sleep deeply. Then God took one of Adam's ribs and created a woman, Eve, to be his friend and helper. When Adam saw her, he was filled with joy. Together, they walked with God in the garden, surrounded by beauty and peace.
"Be fruitful and have children. Fill the earth and take care of it. Rule over the fish, the birds, and every creature."
He gave them fruits and grains to eat and told them to enjoy everything he had made. And when God looked at all of creation, the shining sun, the glowing moon, the deep seas, the green forests, The flying birds, the roaring animals, and the smiling faces of Adam and Eve. His heart was full.
It is very good.
Everything was perfect. The world was alive with beauty, harmony, and joy. When his great work was finished, God rested. Not because he was tired, but because everything was complete, just as he wanted it to be. He blessed that day of rest and made it holy, a time to remember his wonderful creation. The world was now full of light and laughter, color and song. The rivers flowed gently through the valleys. The trees swayed in the wind. The stars sparkled at night. And the morning sun rose over the hills each new day. And in that beautiful world, God walked among his creation, smiling, watching, and loving all that he had made.